All right,
Thanks, man.
we are at 4:59. I think the audience is waiting with bated breath. Last week, our intrepid reporter, Gabe Montoya, dropped in, as most boxing reporters simply don't do anymore by actually, get this, going to a gym. And this gym was the Victor Conte's private gym, the Snac boxing facility. And Gabe, take it from there.
Yeah, I was there to see something rare that's going on. You know, there's kind of the two gyms, Undisputed, and then down the street is Victor's new private boxing gym. And he's got all these 54s going through there. Julian Williams trains there like a couple weeks in his camp at the beginning and the end. But right now he's got doing a full camp. Vanas Martirosyan is there, and Demetrius Andrade are there. And Willie Nelson is helping Vanas as a southpaw get ready. And Demetrius agreed to give him as a southpaw, some school on Lara. So I come down to see it. And I'm walking up the street with the trainer of Aaron Coley, and we're talking, and we're walking from the train. It's about like a mile, and we get to the parking lot, and there's Andre Ward standing there with some other guy. And he's like, "Is that Andre Ward?" I'm like, "Yeah, it is." And I know that, we've talked about on the show, right, that Victor and Andre aren't exactly, talking. They used to work together. Andre had issue with kind of being linked to Victor in the press, and there was a falling out, although apparently there was, he was still using, the supplements from the Snac company, all stuff on the up and up. But I think he even mentioned it to you that he didn't like that. So,
oh, yeah. He actually
anyway,
called me and said, why did I mention that? And basically it was very defensive, and it was at that moment I said, this guy's no good.
So I walk in the gym, and there's all these people, more than usual. Another fighter that I didn't know, and then, everybody's got their kind of their chief second that they travel with. So there's about 20 people in the gym. Victor's wife's there, his stepdaughter, his daughter, who's, his right-hand person at Snac and helps run the business. And there's, it's a nice gym. They got bleachers, like, metal bleachers right in front of this nice ring. And I've, they've seen it in my videos. And Andre's still outside, and I'm trying to figure out, like, why he's there. And I tell Victor, Andre Ward's out front. And he's like, no, he isn't. He's, what are you talking about? And he's trying to, coordinate between all the guys, and he walks away. Well, about 10 minutes later, finally somebody else comes in. I think it may have been Willie Nelson. Not Willie Nelson, but Willie Monroe Jr. And he shows up, and apparently he was the one. He had gone to visit Andre Ward at the Shoe Palace, that appearance, and it invited him to come. But Andre hadn't reached out to Victor, and it's a private gym. And I've seen other people be asked to leave because they weren't invited by Victor and cleared by him. And I may have made a mistake. Willie Nelson is working out of he's fighting Demetrius Andrade. He's training at Undisputed. And so sometimes he'll come to the Snac gym, but when Demetrius is not there. So it's already kind of a high-tension situation. And Vanas and Demetrius have already fought each other. Demetrius won. Vanas put him down. So there's tension there, but Demetrius is being cool, like, let's work. And so it's an interesting situation. And so finally I tell Victor, hey, I'm pretty sure Andre Ward is out front of your place. And Victor goes out and gets him, brings him in, and is a little flustered, or not flustered, but just kind of thrown. Like, why is he here? And he's kind of showing him around, gets a seat for Andre, and comes over to me, and Andre says hello to everybody but me. I don't really deal with him either. Well, it was purposeful. I wasn't looking at him. He wasn't looking at me. I'll leave that on the side. That's between us. But apparently they were mad dogging me when Demetrius's people and other people mentioned that they were mad dogging me. But whatever.
Jeez, what a stunner.
So then Victor comes back after talking to Vanas, and it turns out that there's a longtime cornerman, guy Jack, for Andre Ward, that's also the longtime cornerman of Arislandi Lara, who Vanas is preparing to fight. And there's Andre sitting there, and he's got two guys with him. One guy goes out and apparently comes back with like a camera bag, and is sitting there, and they're gonna watch this sparring a couple weeks out from the fight. And so Victor comes out back and says, "Time to go." And Ward's like, "What?" he's like, you heard me. You got to go. Time to go. Let's go. And there was some back and forth. I won't quote. I'll just let Victor tell the story if you ask him. But there was a little pushback. I'm like, why do I need to leave? And then Victor finally just said, we don't want you here. You got to go.
That's pretty simple.
And that's it. Yeah. And finally they stood up and they left. And I kicked myself for not having video on. But this was the other part. It was the first thing he came in and told Victor, "It's about me. I don't want any pictures. I don't want video. I don't want." And after not wanting to be linked in the press to Victor before, immediately comes in and repeats the same thing, the same mistake that got them, kind of in hot water with each other right off the bat. The arrogance to come into somebody else's house and tell them what's what and how it's going to go down. And that's one of the reasons I was fine. I'm not going to look at you. I don't need video with you. I wasn't asking.
I just wonder. Let's say Victor said, hey, Gabe, go ahead, film whatever you want. What could Andre have done? I mean, it's not like you're being paparazzi. You're there as a boxing reporter with clearance from Victor, who is the proprietor of the facility.
Right.
I mean, what would he have done? A Sean Penn on you? Maybe he would have. Here's the other funny thing.
Well, and they record sparring there.
Yeah, and the other funny thing is the nerve of this guy. Do you think he would allow, him and Virgil Hunter would allow uninvited guests to film their sparring, knowing that the opponent is working out 10 minutes from them? Like, come on.
I'll tell you one more, is that what I heard is that he makes everybody leave when he comes in to work out, even if you're at that gym or from that gym, that nobody can be in there when he's doing his thing. So for him to show up and not ask permission, not even to address anything with Victor, it was very rude. It was really out of line.
Can I just say something, though, Gabe, in defense of Andre Ward? Him asking people to leave when he either fights or spars, it's actually doing them a favor. Anyway, 347-215. 7598. Yeah, I said it. It is what it is. That's just kind of a look into the window of Andre Ward. There are people that always say, Steve, I don't know how you could like him or not like him, and I always say, I don't see how you can.
Well,
but to each his own.
That place, Victor is very much an energy guy. He's, his motto is, if it's not fun, don't do it, and that's very much how he lives his life. He's always trying to rile everybody up into a smile at his gym. It's really something to watch. And I think it's, you can't win every fight. And I don't think you should judge a guy like that by his wins or losses. The stuff they're doing there is very positive. And I'm telling you, the moment Andre Ward walked in there, the life was sucked out of that room. It went from a party to a funeral.
So would you say that the intro music was anyway?
Yeah, it kind of was. I'm telling you, nobody was happy.
Debbie Downer starring Andre Ward. Gabe, let's go back to the tweets. Here's Rich from NorCal. How high can GGG go? Does he have all-time great potential? I've never heard you pontificate this. You know what?